All right, the Onepeg replied to the drama. He replied to 10IQ. Now, gentlemen, it is Friday night. The very first thing I want to say is no content creator in Escape from Tarkov ever publicly replies to 10IQ. They only do on their platform. They never ever talked. They never reply to anything I say or do. They always... It's a very one-way street with content creators in Tarkov. Now, Onepeg directly replied to my content. We're not used to that, gentlemen. I must say, I do applaud him for that. I can't even expose hundreds of cheaters for the last year straight and get any of them to ever reply to my channel or face anything I say. It's always replies in the way of DMCA strikes, reports, blocking, and just saying stuff on stream with no proof or, you know. It's actually good to see someone finally actually listen to something I have to say on stream and actually reply to it. I don't think I've ever seen this on my channel. I think the last time I remember seeing this happen was Tiggs, the one time he actually watched my content. I mean, he didn't really. He just read the comments and replied to the comments. But that's not me, really. That's comments that people are writing. But, I mean, no streamer's ever done that. No streamer's ever actually listened to what I've had to say and actually replied to it live, ever. It's always either them reading my comments instead or DMCA striking me or hiding or blocking me, or this is a first. This is actually a first. I don't remember a streamer ever watching my opinion live and actually reacting to it live. So this is a first. Good on Onepeg for that. He is the first guy in Escape from Tarkov to ever do it. We'll get into it. Now, at the same time, I will say he did block me on Twitter, so I couldn't go and watch this live. I had to get this clip sent to me. That's why you see this stuff here. So I mean, he reacted to what I had to say and then blocked me, and then basically replied and then was like, "Well, no, I'm not going to accept any reply after what I have to say," and then blocked me. So do we really congratulate him for actually listening to what I have to say? Because he instantly blocked me on all platforms the second he did it. Anyway, let's get into it. So Onepeg actually watched my video and gave his takes. Okay, now I'm going to try and stay out of the way here. So this is a reaction of a reaction of a reaction. Okay, now, like I said, I don't think I've ever seen a streamer watch my content and give their, like, actually reply to my content live. No streamer has ever had the kahunas to do that. So, I mean, kudos. I mean, he did block me on every platform after, but I mean, hey, I kind of salute the guy, even though anyway, let's get into it. About me, how dare you? That's not how the real world works. People have opinions. People can practice fair use. People can post content just like you have the right to do that every day. Just like the way you make your living every day.
The way I make my living every day is by talking about other games and discussing things that I like and dislike about them as somebody that gives reviews of patch notes and talks about things educationally. In the meantime, I try to be as relatively entertaining as I can be while I am live at that time. What I tend to not do is respond to drivel like this, but unfortunately it's affecting my friend, and the title of your video says something about how I'm suing you. I'm not involved in this at all. I don't even know why you drug me into it, other than me responding to a tweet that you made about Velian where I believe that you're unjustifiably going after him. And yeah, I guess I'm giving you like 15 seconds, and this is pretty much all I'm going to say about it.
Onepeg is going to give me 15 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to give me 15 seconds. Let's soak those 15 seconds up. Let's listen to what he has to say, because, I mean, he is the only streamer in Escape from Tarkov who had the you-know-what to actually listen to what I had to say publicly and take it in. So let's listen to his 15 seconds of 10IQ.
The thing that I brought up was that my understanding, and perhaps I am wrong, my understanding is you made commentary, not even commentary, where you were talking about something completely unrelated to Vel, and then when it came time to show something about Velian's content, or when you showed something about Velian's content, it was more or less like several minutes of something uninterrupted, where start to finish
it was doing the exact same thing that you're doing now, watching my content. I said that in my video. that obviously you're not reacting to. You're reacting to a different video, but I did the exact same thing that you're doing now. What's the issue? I don't understand. I did the exact same thing that you're doing now.
Was just his stuff. And I know that you're...
Do you guys remember me uploading a video that was just straight Valiant's content and nothing else? Do you guys remember clicking on a video that was just straight ripped to Valiant's content and nothing else? Just Valiant's content and me not talking. Have you ever seen a video that I've posted where I don't talk, or I don't give my take, or I don't give an opinion, or I don't talk on it? So he's basically suggesting that I just uploaded Valiant's content. Okay.
Argument is that you can just use anybody else's stuff regardless, as long as it's in a video for you or a video that you're putting up. Because they put it out on the internet, that means it automatically gives you fair use. That isn't true. It has to be transformative.
Just like you're doing now? Just like you're doing right now? Just like I'm doing right now? Like you're reacting to me and I'm reacting to you reacting to me? I did the same thing that you're doing. Literally, I did the same thing that you're doing. But you're going to lecture me on what fair use is? I did the same thing you're doing right now. Just like I said in my video, these guys can do it every day. However, if someone smaller comes along and does the exact same thing that these guys do every day, but they say an opinion that these guys don't like, then it's copyright. Then it's theft. Then it's stolen content.
And the thing that I said in the tweet that I wrote was that Velian can afford to take you to court for this. He can. He actually makes a pretty good living. I have nothing to do with this monetarily, but what I can tell...
Right. Now we get into the grounds of Valiant makes a substantial amount of money from his viewers in the form of donations and kindness from his viewers. They give him an awful lot of money, so he can afford to spend that money on you. 10IQ. He can basically accept donations from all of his viewers every single day, and he makes a hell of a living. He is hella rich from all the money that people donate him, and he's going to spend it on silencing a critic online and not his children because in the comments of my video, he said that he spends that money on his children and his lifestyle. But yet now, according to you and what Valiant says to you apparently, all the money that people give to him online out of the kindness of their heart, he is going to spend that money silencing critics online. Right. Hey guys, can you donate me money so I can silence my critics, please? It's not for my children or for me to pay my bills. It's so I can silence anyone who has an opinion of me that I don't like. Because, I mean, this guy can react to my content. Any streamer on earth can react to content. But if 10IQ does it and he has a negative opinion, I'm going to spend my viewers' money that they donate me out of the kindness of their heart to silence him. Right.
Tell you is that he secured himself an incredibly proficient lawyer. Very proficient.
I'll tell you something. If this guy was an incredibly proficient lawyer and such a professional at destroying people's lives who steal content, on the 19th of October at 9 p.m, I submitted my counter notification and YouTube told me that Valiant has 10 business days to respond and show proof that he's suing me. Now, 10 business days from Saturday the 19th at 9 p.m. at night. Time's up. Time's up. It's been 10 business days. So you're telling me that Valiant spent the money that people send him out of kindness on a lawyer, an incredibly proficient lawyer who watched 10 business days go by and did nothing. It is now the 1st of November. 19th of October. 10 business days. That's 2 weeks. You don't count a Saturday and a Sunday for each week. That's 14 days. 19. Remember, there's 31 days in October. So 12, 13. It's a Friday, by the way. So You're telling me he wasted all that money on a highly proficient lawyer who had a 10-day timeline, which is gone. I mean, he told me that he spends this money that his viewers send him on him and his child and their lifestyle and to pay their bills, and he's extremely happy that people do that for him. But yet, now, according to you, he's incredibly rich and he's amassed a huge amount of money and he can afford to send me through court, and he's paid for a lawyer, and time's run out. 10 business days, 19th of October, 1st of November. Do the maths. You're telling me he wasted money on a lawyer and a copyright strike and all this stuff just for time to run out and nothing to happen. I thought he spends the money that people send him in the form of donations and kindness. I thought he spends that money on paying his bills and paying his way in life, and not trivial pursuits on YouTube that just go nowhere, which would have cost thousands of dollars. If you think lawyers are cheap, they're very expensive, extremely expensive, and so are court dates and court claims and anything to... You're talking thousands of dollars, a lot of money, a huge amount of money. So you're telling me the guy who accepts 70 cents Bitbot donations and gets on Twitch every day and begs for donations is extremely rich and has an awful lot of money and can afford to pay lawyers who don't meet deadlines and don't take content down and who do absolutely nothing within the legal deadline time just for the fun of it, just to bully smaller creators?
Is irrelevant. Tell you it can afford to take you to court for this. He can. He actually makes a pretty good living. I have nothing to do with this monetarily, but what I can tell you is that he secured himself an incredibly proficient lawyer.
From his viewers, he secured all this stuff from the kindness of his viewers to be able to pay for lawyers who didn't meet deadlines and take legal action that went nowhere, and just waste all those resources from the money that people sent out of the kindness of their heart, which he greatly appreciates apparently, just to silence a critic online.
And whether or not he sues you is irrelevant.
Whether or not he sues you is irrelevant. Wait. You just said he is suing me, bro. So why would you even add in whether he is or not is irrelevant? You and him have threatened me for the last week, 2 weeks straight that you're suing me. You had 10 business days to do so and you didn't do it. Why am I dealing with 1,000 threats just for simply reacting to a clip from 2 content creators who are 100x me online? Why am I dealing with 1,000 threats of getting sued and all this stuff? Why am I dealing with all this from people who aren't going to do anything? People who make a huge amount of money from all their viewers. Why would they even care?
He's going to... At least I believe he will. He's going to make a claim on it, and because of the way that the legal system in the United States works, that is something that you will have to try to defend officially.
YouTube doesn't just give people 6 years to make, like, he's had his 10 business days. Time's up.
If you believe that your content is not violating DMCA in any way, shape, or form, you will need legal representation.
I won't if I don't ever get a court date, if I just get threatened with one for weeks on end and no one hands me a court date. Where's my court date? You guys are supposedly suing me. I've been threatened with getting sued by every single Tarkov creator since the dawn of time. Where's my court date? Please give me one. Please give me one. Please. What if I do live in the US? What if me being from Australia is a troll? What if I actually do live in the US? And I'm a law expert. I'm just saying, as an example, what if that's the case? How come none of you guys ever actually, it's always just threats? Where's the actual court date? Not one soul has ever provided me with it. I've been threatened with it 1,000 times, but where is it? Someone please give me one. Maybe I'm not a troll. Maybe I actually live in the US. Maybe I'm a law expert, and maybe I'll meet you in court. Give me the court date. Please give me the court date. I'm begging you. Please give me the court date. Please. I've begged since day one. I could name 20 creators right now that I've begged for the court date, but none of them ever provide it. It's always just threats. There's never a court date. It's always just threat and just doing everything they can to silence me and never doing anything about it.
safeguard whatever it is that you believe that you are entitled to post. In failing to do so, the video will stay down, you'll have a copyright strike, and honestly, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Regardless of my own personal feelings on whether or not I believe that you're kind of shitty for the stuff that you do, especially given your past and harassing Veritas and sending hate brigades toward him and all this other.
Okay, so we're bringing up stuff that 10IQ did 18 months ago. So stuff that 10IQ did 18 months ago, and I, guys, let's not be silly here. Let's understand what's really going on here, okay? And we know damn well what's going on here. We all know, anyone with an intelligent human brain understands what's going on here. And I've said this since day one on this channel. This is streamers all protecting each other. We've seen it many times before on this channel. Just like when I made videos warning Tiggs to stop taking viewer kits. He threatened me with legal action and took my videos down and all that stuff. And then BSG actually banned him and said, no, what you're doing's wrong. And then Pestilli stood up for Tiggs and all the streamers stood up for Tiggs and I was the bad guy and I got threatened with legal action for weeks on end, and anything 10IQ said will be met with legal action. He needs to be stopped and how dare he. I was right though. Everything I said was the truth. Tiggs got banned for taking viewer kits, so did Schmitty Stone. Schmitty Stone also threatened me with legal action, which he never met. He backed down and he removed the DMCA. All of them did. They all threatened me with legal action, which they never meet. I actually spoke to Tiggs behind closed doors and I explained to him how copyright works and I explained to him how all of this worked. And he actually removed his own claim himself. And he got game banned for his actions, which I told him he will be game banned for, which he didn't believe me. And then 20 other Tarkov streamers come to his defense and threatened me and said I was wrong. And said they're also going to sue me and shut my channel down. And I was right. Streamers will all protect each other no matter what, even if they're cheating, breaking the game's rules, all of the above. They will always protect each other. You guys need to understand this, okay? There's a circle of human beings who make a living online and rake in money off of kindness of other human beings. And they all protect each other. That's the only reason Onepeg is involved in this drama right now, is because he's protecting Valiant. Even though Valiant is entirely wrong in what he did, he will protect Valiant to the death. Just like Pestilli did for Tiggs. Even though Tiggs was game banned, Pestilli still defended Tiggs to the death and said 10IQ was wrong for saying that. Even though BSG proved that everything I said was the truth, Pestilli still calls me a scumbag, kept me banned from his channel, and refuses to speak on the situation since. Everything I said was the truth, and everything I said came to light, and Tiggs was banned. And Pestilli, as you see, if you watch my channel, you would have seen it. Pestilli did unban requests. He's seen my unban request where we had the conversation about Tiggs, and he laughed and said, you know what, I'm not going to unban this guy, even though I was right. Everything I said was the truth. Threatened 10IQ with legal action, shut 10IQ's channel down. 10IQ is not allowed to have an opinion. 10IQ is not allowed to practice fair use. 10IQ is not allowed to do the same things that we do every single day online. These guys will protect each other to the death. They don't care about the game's rules. They don't care about the actual law. They don't care about anything. There's a circle of people who rake in cash from anyone they can online, and they all protect each other, and that's how it goes. If you're someone who comes along and you're a new content creator and you dare have an opinion or dare be someone who does this for literally crumbs, you're the enemy, and you always will be the enemy, and they will do everything to silence you.
Garbage that you've done in the past, regardless of any of that.
Regardless of the garbage you've done in the past, I'll bring it up though. I'll bring up what you did 18 months ago against Veritas. The funny thing is, all these guys, they'll bring up the content I made 18 months ago, but they won't acknowledge the change in content. Like, yes, I used to troll Veritas and Tiggs, and I used to solely only be a troll on YouTube. But I've actually spent the last year investigating cheating, calling out cheaters, calling out streamers that are cheating, giving cheating updates, doing everything I can to give the player base true up-to-date knowledge on cheating and doing everything I can to grow as a content creator and make better content that people will enjoy. And I've moved away from just trolling and just being a thorn in these guys' backsides. I've moved away from that. And these guys will spin the narrative that all of this is my fault, but yet I reacted to a Valiant clip, a 2-3 minute clip of Valiant raging about Bitbot. I reacted to it and he DMCA striked me and he's going through this massive process. I didn't say the guy was cheating. I literally said, I thought this clip was funny. This is his channel. What do you guys think about this? Check this out. And then I played the clip. Like, this is not Valiant doing this. This is him listening to the likes of Veritas and all these other streamers in this circle. Guys like this is streamers sticking together in the circle. And if you're not in it, you're on the outs and you're a scumbag. Now, Valiant, I don't have any issues with Valiant. Like, I don't, that's why I was confused when he didn't reply to my first 2-3 emails saying, hey man, I'll just take the video down if you like. And he didn't reply to me and just demanded legal action and all this crazy stuff. Do you know what this solely is? This is other content creators getting in Valiant's ear saying, hell no, bro, do not do that. Take this to the full extent, because they themselves didn't have the kahunas to, and they lost because they showed who they really were online against a crumb like me, and they lost. So now they're getting in Valiant's ear saying, oh, do this, do this, do this, and do all the stuff I didn't have the kahunas to do. And Valiant's actually doing it, or threatening to do it. I mean, his time's run out. Everything he's threatened that he's going to do to me, his time's run out. Monday morning, the video goes back up. It should be up now, technically, but because there's a weekend, it'll go back up Monday morning. Like, he's only, like...
You can go ahead and be an absolute douchebag like you are being in this video right here, and there's nothing that I can do about it. All of this is fair use. It might not be nice that you end up talking mean about people.
Wait, so you agree that my content is fair use? You agree that what I'm doing is fair use? Wait, so how come other creators say that it's not? How come other creators say that it's not? So if you think this is fair use, why are you defending Valiant who thinks that it's not? Are you just defending another streamer, just like Pestily did with Tiggs, even though he was breaking the game's rules and got game banned, and then still continued to defend him? So you're saying that this is fair use, but you still defend Valiant in his actions in DMCA striking me and threatening legal action, even though you agree that it's fair use. How does that make sense?
People. But just because you talk mean about people doesn't mean that I can do or say anything about it. I wouldn't even try to in this case.
Wait, so Onepeg is admitting that what I do is fair use. He wouldn't bother doing anything about anything that I say or do, but yet he'll defend others who do. How does that make sense though, Onepeg? So you agree that what you're doing and what I'm doing and what I was doing here on screen is fair use, but if others have an issue with it, if Valiant has an issue with it, he's within his rights. He's within his rights and he's going to get the best lawyer on the planet, and how dare you do that? How does that make sense, bro? If you wouldn't do anything legally about this because you know it's fair use, why would you defend another man who's doing something about this saying it's not fair use? How does that make sense, bro? You're doing this right now yourself. You're practicing fair use right now yourself. You're doing exactly what I do. But yet if others have an issue with what you're doing right now, and it's against me, then good on them. Heroes. You better lawyer up, bud. Just like I said in my last video, gentlemen, these guys rely on fair use and they need fair use to make their living. Whenever someone has an opinion that these guys don't like, what's fair use? We don't know what fair use is. What's fair use? Do you think these guys ask for permission every time they play a song on their stream? Do you think these guys ask for permission every time they play a video game on their stream from the game developers? Do you think these guys ask for permission for anything they do on their stream? No, they don't. That's what fair use is. We're all practicing it. We're all doing it, right? But if 10IQ does it and has an opinion that you don't like, then no, it's copyright. full extent of the law. How dare he? And I support him in doing that while you do the same thing to me. I mean, if what you're saying's true, bro, I should copyright strike you for reacting to my video right now, shouldn't I? Shouldn't I, bro? Shouldn't I copyright you, strike you for this? How dare you react to my content, bro? I should sue you for this, man. I mean, damn. My viewers donated me $300 this week. I may as well spend that on a lawyer to sue your ass. How dare you watch my content, bro, and say your opinion on it and practice fair use? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
The difference is that when you end up using people's content uninterrupted in a way that doesn't transform their content whatsoever, where I could hit play right like this
Playing a game
while you end up talking in the background using...
Again, lessons on fair use. Like, all these guys try to give me lessons on fair use when not one single one of them have ever been found to find me guilty of copyright. Not one of them, ever. In the 18 months I've been doing this, not one of them have found me guilty of copyright. But every single streamer on earth will say 10IQ is a content thief and 10IQ copyrighted me. Never been found guilty once of copyright. 13 different streamers have accused me of it and threatened to sue me and DMCA strike me and all this. Never been found guilty once. But yet still to this day, 10IQ is a content thief. Surely, to any grown man who watches this, they will think, okay, yeah, it's getting to the point now where 10IQ's opinions, for some reason, to these men, need to be desperately removed from the internet. Because 13 different copyright claims which led absolutely nowhere. 0 claims ended up being found to be true. Why are they really saying it's copyright? Why are they really saying it's theft? That's a total lie, because every single time it gets found out to be not true. So why are they really trying to remove my opinion and my content?
And because I'm adding commentary to it, that is considered fair use. That's why React streamers get away with
more lessons on fair use.
What doesn't work is when someone like XQC stands up from the table and walks away for several minutes at a time.
This is what they all like to do. They all like to give me lessons on what fair use is, but yet out of 13 DMCA strikes, not one of them have been found to be copyright. Not one. So all these lessons and lectures, and what's it all for? What's the real reason this is happening?
If only then to come back with a sandwich or some chips in his hand and ask what happened. That doesn't work.
You know the crazy thing is? Who is this guy to tell XQC on what fair use is? XQC is one of the largest streamers in the world, but yet here this crumb is trying to shame XQC on content creation. You're a crumb compared to XQC. You know nothing about content creation. You're a shadow of XQC, but yet you're gonna shame XQC on what he does. You're wrong. You're making an assumption. You don't know what fair use is. That dude makes his living making content and is a millionaire from it. He's doing the same thing I do. He knows the rules better than you do, bro. At what point is your small little brain going to accept that? And you're going to try and shame him for how he makes content? He's killing it compared to you. You're a crumb. You're a crumb. Like, you're going to shame him for how he makes content? He is set for life for making content. Like, you're going to give him a life lesson on how to make content? Just like you're giving me? Make it make sense.
You can't just post that on YouTube and expect that someone won't copyright claim you and have it within their rights to be able to do so and follow through on it. And the reason why XQC cows to that stuff is because he knows he would lose. Or at the very least, he knows that the legal...
Then why is he a multi-millionaire from making content? Why is he a billion times more successful than you are? Still doing it. Still doing it. I literally watched a XQC reaction video today. Or 2 of them. But yet you're going to tell XQC what copyright is? Okay, let's keep watching.
Ramifications for that would be too expensive for him to bother pursuing. It isn't worth it. Now in this case, perhaps you feel like it's something that you should do. and I would encourage you to do so. Find yourself legal representation, come to the United States, and defend.
I haven't had the chance. No one's provided me with a court date yet. Valiant's time just ran out to provide me with a court date. He had 10 business days. He didn't provide me with a court date in that time. Now you're going to tell me to lawyer up? No one's provided me with a court date, bro. Where's my court date? I'm begging for it. Where is it?
Defend yourself. Fine. Whatever. The other thing that I can say that doesn't end up making a whole lot of sense is when you end up reposting stuff like this and say that some dude named Dave in Boston ends up talking a whole bunch of jive. So you're posting like several minutes of this dude just basically asking Velian to pay his way to come to Boston and have a fist fight with someone? Now we're perpetuating violence on the internet against a content creator because you don't like him. You're platforming violence against another person. I would really hate to see what Australia would do if they...
Wait. Onepeg actually thinks that Dave is a real human being threatening Valiant. You know what's funny to me? These guys pretend they lecture people on what fair use is. And they also lecture people on threats. And if you watch this and you didn't think it was a joke, this guy's an actor and a comedian. His name is Mitch Feldman. He's an actor and a comedian who was making a joke. Mitch Feldman, his name is. These are the movies he's been in. He's a comedian and an actor, and it was a joke. But yet, according to Valiant and Onepeg, it was a threat of violence. And what would Australian law think of that? And this video also got reported into the ground from guys like this. It was a joke from a comedian and an actor. This Mitch Feldman, his name is. He's a comedian and an actor. I spoke with him. It's a comedian. He was making a joke, but yet these guys are going to play victim and say that it's a threat of violence and talk about what Australians would think. Australians have a sense of humor. This is a comedian. They're like, do I need to sit here and explain what a comedian's role is to guys like you? It's a joke. He's a comedian. He's an actor. He's not it's a joke. He's playing a character. Do you think he really wants Valiant to meet up in Boston? He's not from Boston. He's from Colorado. It's a joke. But yet, when it suits these guys, it's a threat of violence and it needs to be met in court with serious consequences. Shut that small YouTuber's channel down for provoking violence. He's a comedian. He's an actor. It's an act. It's a joke.
Found out that a content creator like yourself were trying to push the narrative that someone wanted to come to Boston or wanted him to come to Boston and say when someone asked if this could be resolved without violence, he stated he would kick Velian's ass if he pulls up.
Yeah, it's an act. He's an actor. He's a comedian. It's Mitch Feldman. He's an actor and a comedian.
That someone wanted to come to Boston or wanted him to come to Boston and say when someone asked if this could be resolved without violence, he stated he would kick Velian's ass if he pulls up.
Now I know who spam reported this video and made it 18 plus and restricted from the YouTube algorithm. Men like this. These guys are allowed to make jokes. These guys are allowed to crack jokes and threaten legal action, which they don't ever follow through with. But if an actual comedian and an actor comes along and cracks a joke...
I don't know, it seems a little weird to me.
It's weird.
Someone might want to have something to say about that. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, you.
Again, I'm not an attorney, but if you're telling other people, like you did in this clip down in here, that they're always going to have to deal with people like me that spent the last, I don't know, almost 7 years trying to work themselves up to a position where I could actually make a living from this.
Anyone who has a small channel.
And you say this.
What fair use is, practice it.
So the thing is that they should learn what fair use is, and you're absolutely right that they should practice it, but I don't think that they should be learning that from you.
I've beaten 13 DMCA claims from content creators like this and Valiant and Tiggs and a billion other creators who have threatened me into the ground, who have never ever done anything, and my channel is still uploading content today. Why shouldn't they listen to me? They're small creators like me. We're not all big creators like you who make a living from people's kindness and donations. They're all going to be people who are small creators like me, who make virtually nothing doing this and volunteer their time doing this. Why wouldn't they listen to me? What, they should listen to you? Guys like you constantly threaten small creators like me every day.
Reacting to other people's content is fine as long as it's, again, transformative.
Do anything you want. As long as you practice fair use, you're always going to deal with guys like this.
That's actually not true. You wouldn't deal with a guy like me at all, because a guy like me actually understands how the legality of DMCA works, and I understand what I should or should not be pursuing to try and safeguard myself.
Wait, so what he's basically saying here is you wouldn't deal with a guy like me because I know how fair use works, and I'm not going to be the kind of guy who's going to threaten you with legal action for practicing fair use. But yet you're defending a guy who is literally threatening legal action and removing my content for practicing fair use. The whole reason you're even responding to my content is because you're defending a guy who is suggesting that what I'm doing is not fair use. But then you're also saying, I know what fair use is. I wouldn't have an issue with this. Then why are you defending someone that does? Like I said earlier, these guys will do everything to defend each other in the circle. And if they make a living off other human beings on the internet, they all defend each other no matter what. And anyone below them will be met with 1,000 threats, and they'll cancel them and end their channel and DMCA strike them and sue them. But yet you're just sitting here literally admitting right now that you wouldn't do anything about what I'm doing. You wouldn't have an issue with it, but you'll defend someone that does have an issue with it and would do something about it or try to. How does that make sense? How does that make sense?
If you're dealing with a guy like me, then you would be dealing within the confines of the law.
They're always going to have an issue with you. Don't set it.
I actually wouldn't have an issue with them at all.
So you wouldn't have an issue with what I'm doing, but you'll defend a guy who does? You'll defend a guy who does and say that he's well within his rights to do something about it, which he was given 10 business days to do something about it, but he didn't, but he still removed my content anyway? And you'll defend that guy? And you'll have an issue with me because that guy does, even though you're saying yourself that you don't have an issue with what I'm doing? How does that make sense? So you know what I'm doing is fair use and you wouldn't have an issue with it, but if another streamer does, you'll defend him and everything he's saying is right, even though you'll sit down and admit that you personally wouldn't have an issue with it and you know that it's legally okay and you know it's legally fair use. So what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? What is this? Why are you even defending Valiant then? If you know that this is fair use and you wouldn't have an issue with it yourself, what are you doing? What is this? Why are you defending him relentlessly and saying that what he's doing is correct? And then also joining in on threatening me with legal action, but yet I just showed you that his legal timeline has run out to sue me or provide proof that he's suing me. But yet you're still going to push the threat that he's suing me and then pretend that a comedian's joke is an actual threat of violence? A joke from a comedian, an actual real life comedian, is a threat of violence? You're clutching at straws, dude. You guys are desperate. You guys are desperate. You guys are desperate to do anything to remove an opinion from the internet that you don't like. And if you don't like it, it's copyright, it's theft, it's a threat of violence, even though it's literally a comedian saying it. A literal online comedian, actress, an actor/comedian makes a joke and that's a threat of violence to you. You personally wouldn't do anything about it though, but if Valiant does, good on him. Good on him. Top bloke, good on him. I applaud him for doing that.
So you're saying that people shouldn't set out to try and make money online doing the content that they do for a living. Otherwise, they're going to end up like me, like this. A guy standing in front of a placard for St. Jude Children's Hospital, where I earned $167,000 in the course of 4 hours for the GCX charity marathon that happened just a couple of months back. And through the greater community for Dark and Darker, raised almost $400,000 over the course of 4 days.
Wait, I'm not pointing at what he's doing here, or like, this is just a picture. You're defending someone who's doing this to me, and you're also You're agreeing with someone doing this to me. And I'm just pointing at a picture of you and your Twitter. This was I'm on your main page of your Twitter. Like, this is just your Twitter. I'm just on your main page pointing at you. Because you're defending someone who's doing that and saying he's perfectly fine to do that, even though you're admitting that you wouldn't personally do it because you know it's fair use. But you're now going to say that you're raising charity, and what has this got to do with you raising money for charity? I'm talking about you defending Valiant.
If you're saying that no one would ever want to be like that, okay, fine. I am extremely proud of the person that I am. Like, that was one of the proudest moments of my entire life. One of the best days.
Wait, he's actually suggesting that I'm shaming him for what he done in this picture. He's suggesting that I'm shaming him for raising money for charity.
I've ever had in my entire life. Best weeks ever. And I hope that I'm able to surpass that when it ends up coming down to.
This dude is... I'm on his Twitter page. That's just the picture that came up. So he's actually suggesting that I'm shaming him for raising money for charity and saying that you're going to end up being a guy who raises money for charity. I'm just on his Twitter page. This is like, I just was on his Twitter page saying you're going to end up like a guy like this. He's defending someone who's, I mean, he's admitted that he wouldn't do what the person he's defending is doing. I'm just on his Twitter page replying to his Twitter posts. I'm not looking at what he's doing in the picture saying he's a bad person for raising money for charity. See how they just like a joke from a comedian and an actor is a threat of violence. Me being on his actual Twitter page responding to him is me mocking him for raising money for charity. Like, see how it's just like a repeated, and the only reason he's even in this drama is because he's defending a streamer for something that he wouldn't personally do himself and that he knows isn't copyright. See how it's just always like a repeated thing where he's the victim and I'm... Just remember this whole thing started because I made a 10-minute video and then I used 2 minutes 45 seconds of Valiant's content and made it transformative and said, what do you guys think of this? He got mad at Bitbot, check this bit out. And then I zoomed in and out, added sound effects, added logos. That's how this whole thing started. And then I emailed Valiant 2-3 times and said, hey, I'll just remove the content. There's no need for this drama. And his response was, I'm going to make an example out of you. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to take your channel down. You treated this streamer like crap. You treated this streamer like crap. I'm just a dude who's 13, 14, 15 months into making content and learning as I go. I never went out of my way to start any of this. And I also went beyond out of my way to resolve this and offered to back down and say, hey, we don't need to do this. I'll just take the content down. And I was told, no, not happening. You're being sued. You're being this. You're being that. You did this. You did this 14 months ago. You did this 16 months ago. I'm suing you. I'm making an example of you. People were mean to me on Twitter, so I'm going to strike you. I just thought a clip was funny and reacted to it. That's how this all started. That's how literally this all started. That's how it all started. I'm literally on his main page of his Twitter right now. And he's suggesting that I'm shaming him for raising money for charity.
Do it this coming year, because next summer we're going to do it again. So if you're saying that you shouldn't set out to...
Congrats. That's cool, bro. I genuinely, I'm not being a troll. I genuinely applaud you for that, man. That's a great thing to do. That's really cool of you, man. That's awesome. Like, that's awesome, bro. That's really cool. I wasn't shaming you for that. I honestly look up to you that you're able to do that for people. Like, I think that's really cool. Like, I feel like I have to sit here and explain myself because I'm just looking... Like, you addressed me and I responded to you and I'm just on your main page of your Twitter. But now I feel like I've got to... Like I'm attacking you because you gave to charity.
Make money online because you might end up raising a crap ton of money for a children's cancer charity.
I have children. I'm just on the page of your Twitter. I typed your name in and this is your page. I'm not mocking you for raising money for charity, bro. I think it's really great that you did that. Like, I get the feeling like it's just constantly like a victim you wanted to be in this drama. This had nothing to do with you. But then when I come to your social media page and reply to you, now I'm mocking someone who's donating to charity, and I'm threatening violence in the way of a comedian who made a joke. God.
I don't know if that's necessarily the best example that I would give, but that's just me. Honestly, dude, I wish you the best. I really do. And I mean, you're screaming into the void or going after me or Velian or whatever on the internet because you just don't like the fact that
I'm going after people on the internet. And I had a streamer remove my content, and I wrote several emails stating I'll just remove the entire video that I made. It had 2 minutes of your content and 14 minutes of mine. I'll just remove the entire thing. I'm sorry that happened, man. No, you will be sued. You'll be made an example of. How dare you? You did this 14 months ago. You were mean to this streamer 12 months ago. Holy shit, bro. Okay. Sue me then. And then they don't sue me, but just threaten me every single day.
They have the legal ramifications and the monetary ability to be able to take you to court and make you prove it.
I just showed proof that they don't, and time ran out.
Because there's precedent for this kind of stuff. He can afford to do it. The question is whether or not you can. If you can't, then the video stays.
Now he's suggesting that I can't afford to defend myself against a copyright claim financially, that I've been getting threatened with for the last 2 weeks constantly, never-endingly, that never came. It never came. No one ever gave me a court date. 10 legal business days is up. No one gave me a court date. Like, if you think I can't afford to defend myself legally, give me a court date. No one did. Can you afford it? Can your no, not you, the guy the friend you're desperately defending and getting in the drama for, even though you're literally admitting that you personally wouldn't do this? Can your friend afford it? He never gave me a court date, bro. He never gave me the court date. Can he afford it? I mean, he might be telling you he can, but he never gave me one. It's been 10 business days. He never gave me a court date, bro. I don't understand. Can he afford it? I mean, you're asking me. It's up to him to give me the court date, which he never did. I mean, you're trying to mock me here and say I'm broke, but your friend never provided the court date. It's up to him. He's suing me, apparently. There's a timeline, though, and it's up.
He's down. And you can say until the end of time that you are well within your rights. But until you can actually show up in court and prove it,
it's not up to me. It's up to your friend to sue me and me to defend myself for a decision to be made. He never sued me. 10 business days is up. He never sued me. So how can I defend myself legally if he never sued me? It's all an act. It's all a ploy. He never sued me. He never provided me with a court date to defend myself for. He never sued me. So how can I defend myself against a legal claim that's imaginary? It's imaginary, just like the other 12 court dates that never happened that streamers threatened me with. Not one of them has ever been reality. It's always just threat. But yet people like you defend guys that do it, even though you will sit there as a grown man and say you would not do it and it's not worth it. But you'll defend men that do it. So why is he threatening me every single day if on the 19th he received a counter notification from me and it is the 1st of November and he still hasn't provided me with a court date? 10 legal business days is gone. He never sued me. Time's up. So you're defending a dude who did nothing, who did Buckley. You said it yourself. You wouldn't do anything. Maybe your friend wouldn't either. And it's all just cope, just like it is from you. And you're just defending a friend blindly and bullying smaller creators for no reason, who are doing the same thing that you do every day for a living. The reality is you don't like my opinions. You don't like the fact that I call people like you out. And you don't like the fact that I call it how it is. Maybe that's the reality of the situation here. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Then that's what it is, man. I can tell you that the person that Velian is working with on this has an
Ah.
extreme level of understanding of DMCA.
Okay, guys, I've showed you the email. The 19th, he was provided with a counterclaim. It is now the 1st of November. 10 business days. Time's up. Now, here we go. Let's listen to some more threats from streamers who are threatening smaller creators for their opinions and practicing fair use online, even though this sack of shit has said he wouldn't personally strike this content and he wouldn't personally have an issue with it.
And what he had can tell you that person that Velian is working with on this has an extreme level of understanding.
I've heard this 20 times from 20 different streamers in the course of this channel. You know how many times someone's followed through? Never.
Of DMCA. And what he had said was that he planned on making an example of you.
Yeah. In his dreams. In his dreams. He laid in bed at night, and because I live completely rent-free in every single Tarkov streamer's mind, somehow, because of my opinions, in his dreams, he laid in bed at night and thought, I'm going to make an example of 10IQ. How dare he have an opinion and practice fair use on my content? I'm going to make an example of him. But he never did. And then a down bad simp loser like you defended him and actually sat there and pushed his agenda while he was completely wrong and did absolutely nothing.
I guess we'll see what happens. Be well, man. Seriously. Whatever black hole it is that you got riling around in there, I genuinely hope that you're able to find some grace and realize that doing what you are doing and clout chasing other creators and harassing people like Veritas.
That was like 18 months ago. I've grown from then. That was a long time ago. That was when I first started my channel. Since then, in the comment, is this all I do with my content now? Do I just start drama with people? No, I call out cheaters. I investigate cheating. I do something positive with my channel now. I don't. If you go click oldest on my channel and watch my very first content and tell me the difference in content. My channel is completely different to what it was 18 months ago. But yet I still get judged for what my channel was 18 months ago, and streamers still hold a grudge for it. And I still get threatened daily because of it. But yet I could sit here and pull up all the crappy stuff this guy's done, like farm BSG for clout also. I mean, he has a problem with me farming other creators for clout 18 months ago. But yet he's admitted himself that he farmed BSG for clout for hundreds of thousands of views and thousands of dollars. And then when he ever faced backlash for anything he done, he'd bring his children onto his videos and stuff.
You see, guys, I just do this to feed my children. Okay? Please forgive anything I've done. I have children. Please forgive me. It's all for them.
I can bring up all the terrible crap he did years and years ago and use that to judge him for who he is now. Like, the reason I have an issue with you now, and the only reason me and you are talking now, is because you're pushing the false narrative of a streamer who is removing my content, threatening to sue me, who didn't sue me, who removed my content unlawfully. You're pushing the narrative and defending another streamer while at the same time saying that you wouldn't have an issue with it yourself. That's why me and you are talking right now. That's why me and you are even liaising right now. Like, you're defending a person who refused to reply to my 3 emails where I said, look, man, we don't need drama. I'm sorry, I'll take the video down. We don't need to do all this. And all I got in reply was, I'm going to make an example of you. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to remove your channel. You did this 12 months ago. You did this 14 months ago to this guy and this guy. Like, whoa, bro. Whoa. And it gets spun into that I'm just this evil bully who's going after. All I do is investigate cheating. Like I said when all this stuff started, I never had an issue with Valiant. I can pull up the email right now where I said that to him. I said, I don't want drama, bro. Like, I'll just take the video down if you have an issue with it. And he refused to do that. But it's going to get spun into now that 10IQ is the bad guy. 10IQ is the one who wanted this drama. 10IQ is the clout clout chaser. I never wanted any of this. I actually begged to take the video down and just resolve all this and just move on and keep doing what I do and just investigating cheating. I begged Valiant for that, and he refused to accept it. He wanted to do all the crazy stuff, and you wanted to defend him and say he's within his rights of doing it. That's how we're here, dude. Don't get it twisted. That's how we're here. Now that you're replying to me, like, wait, like, I can stab you for stuff you did years ago. I can defend one of my friends that has an issue with you and take it out on you. Like, you decided to get involved in this, bro. And defend someone who was just flat out being uncivil and wanted to make a complete, what of themselves. That's on you, bro. Don't play the victim now.
I genuinely hope that you are able to find some grace and realize that doing what you are doing and clout chasing other creators and harassing people like Veritas,
that was 18 months ago, 12 months ago. Anyway,
isn't the way to go about doing it, man. Seriously, if you took the time, and I mean this as kindly as I can say it, if you took the time to find some niche outside of trying to slag other people, I think that your content and your channel would likely catapult itself. You seem like a very adamant guy. You seem like you're very involved and you enjoy making content on the internet.
That's what I was doing. The video that I added the Valiant clip on was a 12-minute video about cheating in Escape from Tarkov, which I investigated, and it was all stuff that I put into a video, and then in the last 2-3 minutes of the video, I said, oh, this is actually a really funny clip that I wasn't saying anything bad about Valiant. I was genuinely, honestly like, this is actually a really funny clip that I've seen, guys. Check this out. This is Valiant losing his mind about Bitbot. Have a look at this, guys. Check this out. And then I play the clip of him getting mad about Bitbot. And then he pretty much says on stream that he didn't like what people came to the opinion of about him. So he just struck the content just to remove it because he didn't like what people thought of him. That's what I did. I made an entire video about cheating. I gave an update on the current status of cheating. I added a funny little video at the end. Some people said, oh, Valiant's a loser for that, for the way he carries himself. That's like, I can't change people's opinions on, like, if he's going to carry himself like that, then I'm going to practice fair use if I use someone's content. Do I care that I presented Valiant's content and people thought he was a douche because of it? No. If he's going to carry himself that way and people are going to think he's a douche, don't get me wrong. There was other people in the comments who thought it was funny, who said, yeah, I watch Valiant. That was hilarious. I was there for that. That was funny. He was even in the comments of the video himself saying he just basically does it for money. He reacts in that way so people donate more. But then once the majority of people start piling in more and more and saying he's a bad guy for being like that, then he decides, he literally says it on stream when he comes to the conclusion and goes, you know what? People are just coming to a bad opinion about me because of that clip. So I'm just going to DMCA 10IQ. If you actually ever do sue me one day, do you think I don't have the stream downloaded where you sat there and said all the reasons why you actually really striked me? Like, do you think I don't have the entire stream downloaded where you sat there and vented for hours on end, saying the real reason why you striked me? Look, Valiant. You sat there and said the real reason you striked me wasn't because you thought I stole your content. It was because you didn't like the opinion people had when they saw how you behaved. Like, you literally say that. You didn't say it was copyright and theft. You literally sit there and say, I didn't like people's opinion. And people were saying on Twitter that I was ungrateful for donations. So I just thought, you know what? I'm going to strike 10IQ and just remove the video. You literally said that on stream. And you said a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, if you want to talk about legality, and I promise you the stuff you were saying in these 3-4 hours of live streams, a lawyer would basically say to you, you don't have a case now, dude. You basically admitted you only struck someone out of just ego. You didn't strike me for theft. You struck me because of ego. You didn't like what people thought of you. I mean, even at one point in this stream, you admit that it wasn't flat out theft. You even sit there and say, no, he didn't just upload solely my content. Like, he spoke and it was a video about cheating and this and that. And then you go into detail about what the actual entire video was about. And then you said I added a little clip in at the end and it was just a little filler, and you didn't like the opinions of the people who watched it and commented about it. And that's why you struck it. You sat there and please sue me. Please meet me in court, because I've got the streams, dude. I've got clips of you admitting the reason why you actually struck my content.
So some guy took 5 minutes of mine and like clipped it up and posted it in a video. The problem is I was being harassed by all of his user-ass subscribers. Yep. And then people coming on my tweets saying it, also coming on in my chat saying, and then I didn't know anything about it, are gonna come over and be toxic to me because of whatever was going on that day. And I'm gonna just, and like, I had so many people just like absolutely being annoying as shit. So I just DMCA'd him, and then it took a shit down and put a strike on his channel.